Welcome to another presentation of the Globe Sound Healing Conference. Today we have Vickie Dodd, who has been doing sound healing since the beginning of time. Amazing wisdom that she brings to her classes. She also teaches at the Sound Healing Institute here at Globe. Vickie Dodd is the director of Sacred Soundworks. She has worked with sound voice as a healing modality for over 50 years. She is an Aston kinetic practitioner, body worker for over 40 years. She is an author, herbalist, nutritionist, poet, and performer of sacred sound. Vickie teaches the transformative nature of sound. She has created sound schools in the United States, Europe, and Argentina. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, what have you been up to lately?
Really, really busy in this COVID time. I've been doing a lot of online classes and online private sessions. I do a lot of sessions, more than I've done in years, actually, because people can't go anywhere. So, yeah. So I've been busy and gardening and hiking and camping.
Oh, cool, cool.
And shut down like the rest of us. Yeah.
So I got the big question. So if you had all the money in the world, how could you help? How would you help people on the planet?
I would make all of nature, all of the parks, all of the wildness, what they call it, land trust, so that it could not be destroyed, that we could not keep going into the guts of this earth and wondering why we have digestive problems, and going into the heart of this earth. Teaching people that we are earth. We're not the earth. It's not of the earth. We are earth. Yeah, I would really try to protect this planet.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Anything you would do with sound?
Well, I mean, I was at the Amazon, como dice, in the Amazon several years ago. And it's the most diverse place on the planet in the terms of plants. And the frequency and the sound that comes from that Amazon, and that we keep destroying it, we keep losing sound, we keep losing frequencies. So one of the reasons that a lot of times we have to make different frequencies is just to keep them in the planet memory, memory for people, because there's a lot of us that we won't have any memory of certain plants, of certain insects, of certain understory. So that really interests me. I started noticing that in the 70s when I would be sounding and I would just keep staying on a body like over and over and over. And it was because that sound had been lost in their frequency field. I don't know if that makes any sense, but probably does to you. And so that disturbs me, that we're losing sound frequencies that are so important to our health.
Cool, cool. So, would you like to share some sound for us? A little ceremony?
Sure. So this will be for my gratitude of this earth, and that I get to be part of this earth, to be for the gratitude, and for us to remember that we are earth. Yalamohoa tayete, Eshvili yalamaha asato, Eshvili yalemiokoto yalamohoanda ye. Eshiolo yele yele yelo ye yelo ye. Sheolo namoha alahu ele yalomo Sheila nana lo melo ela konai Sheila yalo nama nama na ye Shekala onda yalamoho alahati Shekatotono no moho alamaha ayeti. Shekatono no maha ayati. The earth before me, the earth behind me, the earth beside us, the earth in heaven, the earth below us, the earth inside of us. Eyalamaha aye. Ekialoho onamaha aye. Eshihilho, how can I honor you? Eshilialamaha aye eshi. Teach me how to love. Eshilialamaha aye eti. Teach me how to love unconditionally. Eshilialamaha aye. Let me be willing. Let me be willing. Let me be willing to love. Let me be willing to be well. Let me be willing to be well. Let me be willing. Yalamoho alaha aye. Yalamoho alamoho kata. Yalamoho alaha ase. Yalamoho alaha aye. E kualaha ante. E shrialamaha. Let me plug into this earth. Yalamaha aye misi. Let me be held. Yeshukotanamaha. Let me remember that I am these minerals, that I am, that the nervous system of these plants, that the nervous system of that which grows on this planet is probably even far more complex than my human form. Eyalamaha aye, yelamaha aye, yelamaha aye. Let me be teachable. I pray to be teachable. I pray to be of service. I pray to answer any questions that may be unasked. I pray to answer any heart that is feeling sad. Let me answer. Let me be of service. Eyalamaha aye ekyotono. Eyalamaha aye ishwi. Elame, ekalamoho ondi, elame. Elame. Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be.
So I've got a question for you. How can we stay kind, sane, and well in these uncertain times?
Good question. Very good question.
That would be your presentation.
It's a daily work. It's a daily I have to come to them. Daily I have to be willing. Daily I have to ask, how do I stay present today? How do I stay kind today? Please help me stay kind today. Now, I don't know what or whom or how. It doesn't even matter what I'm talking to, but I do believe that there is an inner wisdom. There is an innate knowing that I need to speak to each day. I need to keep watering it. I need to keep juicing it. I need to keep surrendering to that which is greater, whatever that might mean to anyone. But all I know is that there needs to be something greater than my influence, something greater than this human form, or we're really lost.
Oh.
I'd rather be sane today than right. But one of the ways, yeah, that is the title of what I wanted to talk about with you all today. Because I do think I've been a practitioner of many, many forms of work for a long time. And so I know that these are challenging times. Many times they're challenging. We go through very traumatic events in our life. You know, we get divorced, we get raped, we get robbed, we get into deep depressions, we have car accidents, we have life changes, our partners die. I mean, life. We get excited. We win this. We get this. We're honored here. But how do I stay sane in it? How do I stay tethered to what is good when good things are happening and when bad things are happening? My nervous system only hears news. It doesn't hear this is bad news or this is good news. It just feels that adrenaline. How do I stay tethered? How do I stay right size or some semblance of right size in this constantly moving possibility? Well, the way I'd like us to start today, because I really do believe in before and after. How was I before? How does sound work? How was I before I sounded? How am I after I've sounded? How does sound work in my body? How does sound really change you? We hear that, right? We hear, the physics of sound is that it changes form, it rearranges form, breaks down form. And that's, I get it intellectually, but I would like today, if this is not already true for you, that it become truer of how can I, excuse me, I want to just increase. How can I, regardless of what's going on, how can I plug in? So what I want us to do before you begin, I want you to just get up from where you are, if you can. And if you can't, wherever you are, I want you to do some feedback for yourself. I want you to just notice, how am I feeling today? Where am I at emotionally? Right? How am I feeling physically? Do I have any complaints? Am I feeling really light here? I'm feeling really heavy here. What's weighing on my heart today? What am I thinking about? What's going on psychologically? So I want to just take this feedback. If you can walk about, I want you to notice, how much weight do you feel in your feet today? Where is my weight? Is it more at my heel? Is it more to this side, that side? So I just start taking a little bit of a scan. Where am I? Because see, I'm getting ready to sound myself. And I want to see, what does sound actually do? We've got the cymatics. We see how that sound changes the liquid. And how does it change my liquid? I'm a liquid system. I'm 70, 80% liquid. Yeah, that's what this human form is. And I'm three-dimensional. What does that mean? It means I have a front, I have a sides, and I have a back. Yeah. So I'm not this linear being. So that my sound needs to take in more of a spiraling way. So if I were going to tune myself, well, first of all, wherever you are, if you can, just start making any sounds that want to come out of your body, And if you're in an apartment or if you're in a room where you don't want people to hear you, you can just take a cushion and put right in front of your face, which I've done, many a time, having lived in apartments where I didn't want my neighbors to be able to hear me, just taking a pillow and sounding right into that pillow. No one can hear me, but I still get to rant and rave. I get to empty. I get to just get this liquid going, because my body needs to be able to keep that liquid more liquid. So our sound can do that. But you don't have to believe me right now. What I want you to do right now is to make your sounds. So let's just do that right now. How do you feel this day? If you don't know how to sound, act like you do. There's no right way to do this. All right? So let's just begin. All right? Yes, no, na na mo na yellow wa lo wa ane ine na no nama yellow wa lo ele. Oh, hold on a moment. I want you to just notice me, because you all can see me. I can't see you. I want you to just notice what you've been noticing about me, what my coloring looks like, what my field looks like to you, maybe even what my posture looks like to you. What do you notice? My breath, how it feels to you, how my energy feels towards you. Just using your intuition. Let's see if I change as well as you're noticing how you change. Sorry to interrupt your sounding there. If we were together, we would just laugh about it. All right. Okay. So. Letting yourself start finding a place to come to close if you haven't. And then take a little walkabout. See if that changed any part of you. Maybe you just mind it, maybe not, but just notice. Notice your breath. Notice what your weight is like at your feet. If you're sitting down, notice how did the weight change where your buttocks are touching that cushion. If anything had been disturbing you, is it still quite as strong, or does it even exist now? Just notice. Where am I psychologically, physically, mentally now? Do I feel any more present? And after you've checked yourself out, checking me out. Is there any change for you about me? Did my breath change for you? Did my energy field change for you? Just notice these things. You know, it's not like it's good or bad, but I want to see if I'm going to say I'm wanting to do sound, and if I'm wanting to say that sound is a transformative form, how does it transform me? So I need to know before and after. So I highly recommend that this becomes a habit for you. Before you start sounding, or before you take a little feedback, see, where am I? I mean, we always get off that table, or we get off that, if we're on a table being sounded or whatever, we always go, oh, boy, I feel better, I feel this or that. But it's really important because that's going to be true. But how did I feel before I got on there? Give me a something, because now the reason I'm that I get so strong about this is that I've worked with people for so long that are wanting to work in the sound field, and they find they have so much difficulty explaining it to people, or they find themselves trying to defend it. And I keep saying, if you have it in your own body, if you use your body as a laboratory, it takes away all of that needing to defend, because you're speaking. Then when you speak, I know that it works. I know what it did for me. So now I'm coming from a place of honesty, not theoretical, because it strengthens you. It gives you confidence if you start noticing in yourself, how does sound change your liquid system? This is a very important understanding, because one of the reasons that, sound is a constant formula of listening, observing, asking permission, noticing the different rhythms and timings, the shapes and colors that start, being communicated from us. So over and over and over, I ask myself, what is the sound here? What is the sound of this day? What is the sound of this mood? What is the sound of this emotion? Let me give it sound. It has nothing to do, is this the right sound? Right? So on a daily basis, I'm wanting to do what we just did in terms of how do I stay sane and kind in such uncertain times. Because so many of us, my goodness, I'm sure you're having these same conversations that I'm having. People are angry, people are scared about everything, whichever sides you may be on. People are angry, people are scared, and right. Everyone's right, Well, it starts creating a pretty challenging nervous system. And our tempers and plus we've got all of this going on with Mars and Aries, and it's going to be going on through the end of December, just the Aries part, which is a very, very vital action, but it can really get us into trouble if I'm not tethered and if I'm not practicing being willing to stay kind and tolerant. So one of the ways that we are going to do that, I wish you were sitting here with me so I could see your faces and see what was going on for you, is that I want us to do a meditation that you can interpret and use, a self-care meditation that we're going to begin with, so that you can use this and create it in your own words and tones, but you'll get the idea of what we're going toward. I know I'm moving around a lot. I hope that doesn't disturb you so much on Zoom. I'll try to sit still. All right. So just let yourself, if you are, please sit down and let yourself be quite comfortable. And I want you to just be aware of letting your pelvis, where your pelvis is sitting on that chair, on that cushion, on the floor, really, really just as much as you can, just giving the direction, invitation. Let me really just sit here. Let me trust that this chair, that this floor, this cushion can completely support me, that I do not have to hold myself up off of this chair. Because see, if I want to stay sane, I've got to learn how to rest. I've got to learn how to rest really, really deep into this body so that I can actually plug in to this earth. So we've agreed on some level that we are electromagnetic human beings. And we agree that we are living on a planet that is an electromagnetic planet. So what I'm always wanting to do is literally plug myself in to that which I am. All right? I'm wanting to plug my roots that come right out of my pelvis, right out of the base of my spine, just like as if I were a trunk of a tree going deep, deep down into this earth and letting myself just plug in. And as I go into this earth, as I go into that which I am, passing through all the various colors of the clays and the earth colors of reds and yellows and browns and blacks and whites and grays and even blues, all the minerals that this planet is, that I am all these minerals, and I'm going to get my nutrition. I'm plugging in to that which I am, to the earth below, all the different minerals and all the gases and all of the waters. Let me rest in, deep into the earth. Let me go down, 1 to 2 miles, kilometer. Let me rest deep, deep into this earth. Let me find a sanctuary there, maybe with waterfalls and any minerals that I need. Maybe there's emeralds and rubies and jade and all kinds of crystalline forms. Let me rest there. And from this place of rest, this sanctuary from below, I can send up into the soles of my feet other roots from there coming into the soles of my feet that I start feeding into my feet, into my legs, the earth minerals, the earth gases, the earth colors from below, the nutrition that I am, up through my legs, into my genitals, into my belly, through my entire pelvis, and then it goes back down into the earth. It goes back down into that sanctuary. And then from that sanctuary, all the minerals, all the nutrition that I am to feed me again comes up into the soles of my feet, into my legs, into my abdomen, throughout my pelvis, and then back down into the earth. Let me just start really finding my own rhythm here of this sacred circuitry from my pelvis, going down into the earth below, to my earth sanctuary below. And that which I am needing, that which feeds me, that which I am, into the soles of my feet. I don't have to figure this out. My body knows what I am and it knows what it needs. It is in relationship to the earth, coming into my legs, into my belly, back down into the earth sanctuary. Finding your own rhythm and letting yourself have that for 2 or 3 times. Going down and coming up, finding your rhythm of that. And then to start listening, is there a sound to that? Is there a sound to that nutrition of the earth below you coming in? Act as if you can hear it. If you cannot at this moment, act as if a generating sound. keeping that sacred circuitry and even the resonance of that energy coming up now to about a foot above your crown, top of your head, crown center. And now it's an opening where that star plasma, the liquidness of the earth above, pours effortlessly through the top of your head and starts lubricating. It's like a liquid light, a liquid velvet as it lubricates all of your bony structure, all of your head center, goes along your spine. Your spine follows all, the liquid follows all of the nerve endings at your spine to all the organs throughout your chest, all through your back, into your heart, into your lungs, your liver, your pancreas, your stomach, down your arms and your fingers. This liquid velvet goes wherever it wants to go effortlessly as it lubricates and soothes that star plasma, the liquid earth above you. Letting that just fill you, that liquid light. And then the earth from below comes up into the earth above, into the liquid light. The liquid light from above goes into the earth below, into the minerals from below. And they start doing this dance, this spiraling dance throughout your body. If they, from the bottom of your spine at your sacrum, they just start doing this spinning, spiraling as they mix and feed the earth above and the earth below. Feed your body that which it is. Feed your body that which your body is made up of. All the minerals, all the gases, all the clays, all the star plasma, all that is called earth. And then after they have done this dance for a while, they meet at your sacrum again, at the base of your spine. And they slowly start spiraling and curving and coming slowly up your spine. As they fountain out of the top of your head, as it goes to your front, to your back, to your sides. So now that which you are is feeding now. Like all of your field around you, the electromagnetic field that is you around this body of yours, going all the way down like a fountain below your feet. And you can see with your mind's eye like that crystalline structure of your field. Beautiful. And notice now, I want you to just sit with this for a moment and listen. What is the song? What is the sound of that which you are in terms of the earth energy in this body? Let yourself just sing this love song, or this nutrition song, or this food song that you be. Let's join our songs together, singing a love song to that which you are. Yala mama ye, eshwi alo, ale me ye alo amba. Eshrialo, Yeleyama, Yeshrialo, Mama, na Mama. Eyala Mama, Eyala Haye, Eyala Sotoyo. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm. Just taking a breath, 2 or 10. You're just noticing now how this feels in your body. How do you feel in your body? I keep wanting to say, are there any questions? Are there any comments? So every day I want to plug in. And I kind of told you what I mean by that, but I really want to plug in. Several years ago, I was teaching. I had a sound school in Zurich for quite a while, and I was teaching a class in that school. And I'd been with these students for some time, so they knew me well. And I'm just ranting and raving and carrying on about, can you imagine that we need to be, we need science to tell us about earthing? Can you believe that or that we didn't call it earthing? Can you believe that we need science to tell us that plugging into the earth is healthy for us? Can you believe, and I'm just going on and on and on. Can you believe that, we need science to tell us that walking through a forest is a psychologically mending and, healing for us? Oh, I was just carrying on like I couldn't believe it. And because I still can't believe it. But anyway, that's another story. And all of a sudden I looked around and my students who know me well, they were saying, we didn't know that, Vicki. That was probably one of the deepest learning experiences I have had in many years, because at that moment I realized how disconnected I was from the disconnect. And this really, really disturbs me, maybe more than any information I'm listening to nowadays, is how, because everyone I was teaching were highly intelligent, quite conscious, wanting to become more conscious. And they did not know that the earth, that walking barefoot on it, or at least just walking on it, or walking through a forest, was healing psychologically, emotionally, and physically. And I realized that I was the one that was disconnected from the disconnect. I did not know we had become as a people. So this is a serious condition, folks. So I'd like us to eradicate that. When David asked me, what would I do if I had all this money, yakety yak? Well, that I would definitely educate us human beings to what we are. Where do instead of it all being theory that we are electromagnetic and we're all connected. Well, literally we are. Those trees out there, those plants out there that are in your parks or in your yard, or you've read about, or even in your house, probably have at least as complex a nervous system as you do. There is an intelligence there. The way that I learned sound was by listening to the plants as a little child and communicating with them. And now I didn't realize that I was probably communicating with their nervous system, or their nervous system was trying to help my little nervous system because I didn't have enough boundaries on my nervous system. I was a midwife for many years. And one of the things that we taught women, this is going back over 40 years ago. One of the things we taught women, if you're having pain in your back, lay down on the earth. So I'm grateful for science. But I'm also insulted And I would imagine that many indigenous people are, and people who are earth-based, to be acting like this is new news. And I guess it is. I guess that's what my students taught me. It was new news. So how do we change that? Because if I don't know that, then I probably could be very insane, and I could be very intolerant, and I could become very hostile if I don't know that I could plug in to the earth, and I don't need any special attachments to do that. I could be in a 10th, 20th floor story apartment, and some of you may be that are listening. You can plug in right from there. I don't, you know, there doesn't have to be any special treatment. Let me use my imagination, my ability to imagine and visualize may be one of my strongest tools for self-care. I can imagine myself being tethered to this earth. I can imagine myself being protected by something greater. I can imagine myself being kind. Didn't mean to go off on that. That's not in my notes of what I was going to teach at all, but I think that we need to start speaking, especially women. We need to start speaking what hopefully we inherently know. Maybe not just women. I don't mean it quite like that, but I know what I mean by that. So here I am. I'm doing my daily meditations. I'm doing my resting. And now I'm wanting to actually ask that which I call source, that inner innate wisdom inside of me, that which is connected to something greater. See, my spirituality before many years ago, it was so complex, I could never get good enough for it. So through the years, I've had to get my spirituality really kindergarten. All right? I need my spirituality to be very, very young. So I act as if a great deal. So I act as I can have a personal relationship with nature, with that which I don't know, which that I cannot name, which that I really need to be present, that I really do need something greater. And for me, the earth is greater in terms of the whole. The collective is greater than me as an individual. So I need to plug in. So as we sit here together, and let us see ourselves in a circle and feel our connection together. Because again, I want to be tethered not only to the earth, but to the consciousness of those of us that are wanting to practice. How do I be kind? How do I stay sane? How do I grow consciously? How do I become a woman or man of dignity? I want to support that in you, and I want you to support that in me. So I want to imagine on a daily basis that I'm sitting in circle all around this globe with like-minded beings, that we're all saying, how do we do this? How do we do these next steps? The bottom line is that I need to stay sane and kind. So part of how I do that is what we've been doing so far, is that I'm plugging into the earth. I'm making sure that where I'm sitting right now, that I'm letting myself sit there. I'm letting my jaw be soft. Because my jaw is the strongest muscle system in this entire body. Did you know that? Or one of them anyway. And that it matches in a woman's body, her uterus. You've all been inside of a uterus. So you know how big or strong it is to withstand such quick shaping and changing in those 9 months. So when my jaw is held, and it gets held if I get scared or if I get angry, right? Because when I get scared and when I get angry, I probably lose my kindness. And then if I notice my jaw is probably held, and it gets held for zillions of reasons. So I have to practice on a daily basis, letting the roof of my mouth really round itself out, letting my tongue rest. So as you're sitting here and listening to me, let yourself do that as I keep talking a little bit more. This is a very important piece. So whatever it is that you consider greater, or however it is that you pray, I come inside on a daily basis as I prepare myself for the day, because it's each day. I mean, I can't rely on what I did yesterday. Each day, how do I go through this day? So again, it's kindergarten, and it may not fit for some of you. I have to have it that simple. So I start asking my body, and I want you to do this with me if you feel to. Because now, so let's just say we finished our our meditation for that moment. And so now I'm sitting here feeling rested in my body. And I ask that which I call source, what you call, whatever you call, the unknown, that of many names, 1,000 names. I ask, please remove from me any fear that is ready to be removed from my body this day. I'm not asking for all my fear to be removed. Just what is there ready to be removed? And if I slow down enough, I can actually feel it physically kind of floating out of my body. So you want to try that with me? So we breathe, we relax into our body, and I ask, please remove from me this day any fear that needs to go, that is ready to be removed. And I just pause, and I act as if, I use my imagery, I act as if it's possible. And I can feel, oh my goodness, my breath opens up some of the fear that was right there at my little shoulder blades and there in my spine, just kind of floats away to be integrated back into the cosmos for useful energy. Out of my belly, any fear that is ready to be removed, please. Thank you. So we're asking our innate wisdom to assist us. Then I can ask for any resentments or angers that are running around those conversations, that any resentments that are ready, that can be easily removed from my body for this day, I'm willing to have those angers and resentments removed from my body. And again, I slow down and just notice where they might even be. I just felt some leave my large toe, my instep. Never know where they might be housing. Definitely in my diaphragm. Oh, yes. Oh, my little liver. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I just give myself that kind of time. Then I might ask any jealousies that are ready to be removed from this system today. Put out of my neck, just noticing. Any worries that are ready, not all the worries that I know about, but any worries that are ready to be removed from my body today. My heart lightened up a little bit with that one. And then I just, you can find your own personal ones that you know that you want, but just being gentle. Fear, anger, jealousy, worries. Those are pretty good right there. Good day's work. And then I just say, thank you. Thank you. And then I nearly always add at that time, please help me be willing to be kind this day. And then I often say, because I don't know how. I try to keep coming to my body every day from a place of not knowing. I don't know how. Please let me be teachable. Let me be teachable this day. And then I get to sing a little prayer song. And whatever that might be for you this moment. Let's just close this section that we did with a little prayer song. Let me be willing. Let me be willing to listen to what my soul would have me be. Let me be willing to do my soul's purpose this life. Let me be willing because I don't know what it is. I know what my personality wants or thinks it needs. But I'd really rather do what my soul wants. I really would rather do it. When push comes to shove. Yeah, no, na, mama le hoye. Ya mole way, way. Yes, yes, yeah. And being gentle and kind to this body right now. This is a time to truly be gentle with it. Take enough time with good oils, oiling yourself, keeping yourself lubricated. Loving on it. Thank you, thank you. Let's just take a moment. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, body. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The kinder I am to myself, the kinder I can possibly be towards you. Because otherwise I'll just treat you like I treat myself. Yeah, which sometimes isn't that good, right? So I have to really practice. How can I love this body unconditionally? And when I say this body, I mean more than this physical form, don't I? I mean all parts of me, all parts of me. Nothing changes if I don't love it unconditionally. So I need to start looking, how many conditions do I have? That can make me a very unkind person if I've got so many conditions. I would love you if you were only different. Blessed be. I think we need to get up again, and I think we need to walk a little bit. You just did a big piece of work. Let's see where we are now. All right? Let's see where we are now. Where is the weight now? What is going on now? What do I need now? You know, I lived in many countries throughout this life. I've been very fortunate to know a lot of different cultures, to a little bit. And one of the things that I learned is that I never knew really when I was stepping on sacred ground. And what I learned spending a lot of time in Indonesia, mainly Bali, was that the biggest teaching yet this life, another big teaching, was that every time there'd be a gathering of a meal or a meeting or a music thing, one person at the end of the gathering would gather or would say, please forgive us for any way that we may have offended you. Please forgive us any way that we may have offended. It was not our intention. And I thought, this is so huge. Because they just assumed that probably somebody had stepped on some sacred ground and they didn't know it. So I just realized I might have stepped on some sacred ground already in my talking. And please forgive me if I have. It was not my intention. These are all just my opinions. They have nothing to do with the truth. Okay. It's a beautiful way to live, isn't it? Just acknowledging that I probably or could have. And so let's just clean that up right now. Instead of 10 years from now, do you know what that Vickie Dodd said? Do you know what so-and-so said? Do you know that she was on my toe for 10 minutes and didn't say anything? You know, so it starts interrupting that kind of way of not being kind. Because usually people don't know that they've stepped on your toes. So I just looked at the time. Are we okay, David?
Yeah, doing great.
Okay.
Doing good.
Did I go for a little bit longer?
If you like, maybe another 5 minutes.
Okay. Well, blessed be. I get to have a little bit more because I didn't do hardly what I was going to do. I am so grateful and honored, if I didn't get to tell you that yet, to be here with you today. But I do want to teach. You probably already know it, but if you haven't, the hum has probably been my most important sound that I work with in terms of the nervous system. Because everything that we've been doing today, basically, even though I have not said nervous system each time, has all been about relieving that nervous system. All right. So what I want to teach you in a very short way, because it doesn't take long, is your speaking voice I want you to use. So I want you to take your name, like you were introducing yourself to me. I'd say, my name is Vickie. So it would be right from there. And since we began this talking about how we are a spiral, I'm going to take my name and I'm going to put it like into a mixer or a blender and just let myself swallow it. All right. So I'm taking my name, turning it into a hum. All right. And often when you're singing or sounding or speaking, not often, really always when you're singing or sounding or speaking, you're projecting it. This is going to be a reframing. We're going to inject it. So this is how it would look. My name is Vickie. Vickie, 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 Do that again with me. Take your name, your speaking voice, and because the message you're giving this body is that you are in total acceptance of exactly how it is. So if I were a singer, I might try to change that, right? Because maybe I'm not feeling so good today. So I try to sing it so that it would be more. No, I want to just sound it just exactly where I am. Because I want to see, let sound be the transformative agent, not what I think. So, Vickie. Vickie, 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 Let that hum come into your hands. And then letting your hands start just massaging or touching your body as you keep humming. And as you just keep doing that hum, I'm really wanting to truly let my, this is going to be my central nervous system right through this spine. That hum becomes like a generator, letting it keep doing it until it gets so strong in your system. Hum, 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 my upper brain and my lower brain, this enteric nervous system. Hum, 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 until you can start perceiving that resonance, that frequency right now, silently. That we can actually send that throughout the circle of connectedness, through that wiring that we are connected to, that we feed it soothing sounds. We don't keep feeding it fear, we keep feeding it soothing. So I become a carrier. I become a carrier of calmness instead of a carrier of confusion and fear. I cannot be of any help or solution if I'm the one that's having temper tantrums, or if I'm the one that's just, right, let me keep bringing myself in so I can have a clear mind, a clear possibility of solution, that something greater might be able to actually come through me. Let's close together in that way. Taking your hum, your name. So I hum into my field. Hum, 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 hum. Your hum may be in many ways one of the more important sounds. I've been using it for several decades in terms of relaxing and soothing your nervous system. And the more that you can do this, the more entrainment it becomes to bring you in to that silent hum. So the more that I do this, I can keep hearing that resonance. It will start calling me home. The hum for me, your signature, your sound signature it becomes, is a way of creating a frequency that keeps bringing you home, bringing you home, bringing you home. Because when I get scared, when I've been in an accident, when there's been trauma to those that I love, whatever is going on politically, etc., I need to keep bringing myself home, bringing myself home. My hum can bring me home regardless of what is going on in the world. This is the place where I have some power and control, is let me keep bringing myself home. Home, then I can make possibly a good, righteous decision and be the woman and man or man that I wish to be, which is of dignity and integrity. So in these times, let's use our sound, our voice, our intention, our imagination to keep restoring us daily to sanity. Let me be rooted into something so that I am not blown away by however the wind is blowing, right? I need something that keeps me grounded so that I can be resilient. Blessed be, I pray that there has been something here that talks to you that may be of service. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Blessed One. I appreciate your kind energy.
It's practice over and over.
Took a while.
Yeah, over and over and over. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you have a CD recording or MP3 recording that you are offering? Tell us about it.
And um, and it really does talk to what we've been talking about today, but
Mm,
in a very precise way of laying down, and I'm humming and giving direction of going through different body parts and resting onto each body part. I'm always and then it goes into the chakras, it goes into muscles, it goes into every part of this human form to keep resting deeper and deeper and deeper. And I'm really always taken about how um, it works. Sound
uh,
works, resting works, breathing works, and there's a privilege of not having to do it, but just receiving.
mhm.
Let myself just, if you understand that quite well, we don't, But this CD, it's called, I think, Meditative Resonance, and um, I think it's very beneficial, and especially if in these times where we're so cut off from one another, of being able just to receive some deep work for themselves. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm honored to be here, and I really do. I didn't hardly do anything that I was going to do.
It's all perfect.
Oh, yes, yes.
Uh,
Well, may
cool.
you be well. May everybody be well, and as well as we can be.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Stay connected. Stay connected with one another.
Cool. I'm going to play that
Yeah.
outro video now.
All right.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye bye.